Yeah, so like being there for somebody else and um, being able to hold that space for others because you have that awareness, within yourself and have been doing that practice. And that's us paving that path or creating that path for the people that are following behind, potentially following behind us and being able to hold that space for them as they're, making
Yeah.
their move up to the lighthouse. So
That's huge because this boy, he's 18 years old and I have a 14-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son. And I'm like, I don't really have, I don't know if I have the space for this, like to be able to help you, and it's like this boy had messed around with my daughter at one point and there was a lot of commotion that happened prior, but it was like God was speaking to me and he was like, hold the door open. It has nothing to do with that, and just ask questions and see where he's at and what's going on because I felt like him moving through a lot of different things. He doesn't have parents. He just got kicked out of a friend's house. He was like crashing on couches at people's houses. And I was like, I think that I'm just supposed to just listen, and be there for him in this moment right now. And it's not about me and it's not about my husband or what he's going to think or my kids. Like, and my daughter, I just was like profoundly astonished at her beauty because she's like, I don't even talk to this boy anymore, mom. Like, I haven't talked to him in a long time, but he just needed a place to stay. And I wasn't going to say no. And just
your
listening
daughter,
to
your
her,
daughter said that. Oh
my
my,
daughter said that, so I'm like, wow. I'm like, it's already like the work that I'm doing. I don't have to teach it to them. It's like already being magnified by the energy and me seeing it. I'm like, wow, this is really cool, So they don't even have to do the work. It's just done through us. So that's like a really beautiful like experience, to see it that way. So it's
that's
really cool.
awesome. That is
Yeah.
awesome. And how many people have probably sat and listened to him? You know,
I don't know.
uh,
Not many. He was like, and I'm spiritual, and he had his cross on, and like he just started crying. I could see his whole body got tingles just sitting with me and talking with him. So, and he's been at my house for a couple of days and he found another place. So I'm gonna take him to Alvin after here. So I'm really excited for him.
well, that's
Yeah.
awesome that you held that space for him to be able to step into that too. Because it sounds like, did he find that space on his own?
Yeah, all on his own.
So
Just it was all his doing. So
welcome,
and he also got a
Sophia.
job as well. So I'm like, what? Like all the already just like that. That's so cool.
It's yes, that's beautiful. Those are miracles right there.
Hmm.
And just by holding that little bit of space for him to be able to express himself and open up, and it allowed him to step into that responsibility and um, yeah, very beautiful. And that's kind of like this last week. I mentioned it last night. Like I just feel like the inner child being able to express itself and talk uh, goes a long way, and that's almost that's an example, a direct reflection of that. Just and your daughter also being able to just have that compassion, uh,
Yeah.
the compassion to hold that space. I mean, it's crazy the ripple effects. Like we don't
Hmm.
we don't think about it, see it, have any idea about it until you know that something like that starts to happen. It's like, damn, if this can happen in a matter of a couple days, like imagine what it happens over generations and uh,
Yeah.
multiple lifetimes. And that's where we can just singularly reach a billion people with our compassion, our message, our being a lighthouse and just standing there. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's huge. And I even saw it change, like, because my husband was like, absolutely effing not. Like, this boy's not going to stay at my house, like, wanting to grab a shotgun and scare him, and all this other stuff. I'm like, no, let's try to take a different turn this time, like, why don't we just see where he's at? And he was like, I don't know, you're going to have to deal with it. And he just sat with it and he let me do it. And he was just like, wow, he's like, you're a bigger person than I am. Like, you're such a bigger person than I am. And he saw what happened in the conversation, and he even said that he changed. He's like, yeah, you're a bigger person than me right now, but I love what you did. And at least he's recognizing. And that's a big thing as well, and it's just huge.
And who
And I'm
was
like, I didn't
this?
even do it. I don't even know what came through me, because half the stuff that I was saying, I was like, I didn't even know that I was saying that. It was like, it was kind of like just an jaw drop for all of us, what was happening. So it's kind of cool. Yeah.
And you were referencing your husband there?
Yeah.
He
Yeah. Yeah.
cool. How are
Yeah.
you doing, Sophia? See, you're in the car. I think you're
You're
muted.
muted, Sophia. We can't hear you.
Join the party.
Yeah, I couldn't find the link right away. I was just kind of like, because I'm in the car and I went to the dentist, had to get a cleaning. Then I went to Best Buy, doing errands in like the next city over. And I was like, well, I'm going to be here. So I might as well just go on my phone.
You guys are on the same wavelength wearing purple today.
There you go.
Yeah. I love purple. But who's wearing purple?
That's Christy.
Christy.
Hola, Sofia.
I have a
Oh, Christy. Hi, Christy. And who's the blonde? Wait, let me
Tammy. Tammy.
Tammy. Hi, how are you?
She's our
Nice to
newest
meet you.
villager.
Awesome. Yeah. So,
Well,
go ahead.
I was going to say we were just discussing Sarah. Sarah was holding space for kind of your daughter's friend, but acquaintance, not even a friend really. And he made like a little. He just had, I guess, a shift because he hasn't had anybody really ever hold space for him in regards to allowing him to express himself in a short amount of time. Is a couple days, right? That he went out and was able to find an actual place to stay and a job. And we were kind of talking about I here at the village, and like personally, it's just for me, it's been a lot about the inner child, and like speaking to, allowing our inner child to come through, and what our true inspirations and our lights were from, where they came from, and what we've hold off from the world or build up, boundaries from. So I kind of even mentioned last night that I just feel like that's a beautiful space to write from, in those regards.
Yeah. I had an interesting situation at the dentist about, you're just talking about boundaries, right? A little bit.
Yeah, more the ego that we've created to separate, our inner child from the rest of the world, and creating that ideal self. So in essence, that's boundaries, I guess, if you're looking at the high side of ego.
Right. Well, I always like tell people, well, my message to people is that you can have boundaries and you don't have to curse at anybody and you don't have to yell, and you can still have boundaries and kind of like, you can speak softly and carry a big stick. So like I sometimes do that in the world, like where I'm moving around in the world, like even strangers sometimes can be like a little abusive. You could sense their energy. And so like the hygienist, this is a brand new dentist, because my switched up my insurance, and she was acting a little bit like not nice to me because of something I asked her, and she didn't understand what I was asking her about, like how she was going to clean my teeth, and she had to clean around my little buttons because I have Invisalign. And so she like got offended, and I'm just like, I was calm, but like I could sense she got offended. And then all of a sudden she just started just treating me like not so good, like nicely. And it's like, oh, I told you to have, with the mouthwash, you have to spit it out when I tell you to spit it out. And just little stupid little things, like, like, oh, the suction thing in your mouth, like you need to like, you need to like let go of it. Or I said, but I have to spit out whatever is in there, like, you know what I mean? Like, so like I just remember, like I could sense like her energy was like little daggers. And then I'm like, I just like kind of holding, like staying strong. And I just kind of like was like, well, I said it, I just, whatever I was saying, I think I said something and it made her back off. I was like, it is, the suction cup needs to stay in there because, the water, I haven't completely finished whatever. So, and she's like, okay, whatever works. And then she apologized after because she misunderstood what I was saying about the cleaning and asking her questions about it because she gave me a different cleaning than what I was expecting in my teeth, like not the ultrasonic one, but like the scraper. And so anyway, at the very end, she was just like really nice because I felt like I kind of took my power back. Like I just felt like I held my own. I just was just staying strong, but I didn't, I wasn't, I'm just saying like in general, like I don't let people like, I like, I don't have to say I might take my power, but like, just, I feel like I don't let people, like cross those boundaries and keep being like that way. Like I just, I'll,
Is that
I'll
something?
say something.
Is that, I was going to say, is that something in your past that you would have issues with, like holding your boundaries, or have you always been pretty good at it? And you,
Um, in my past, I was not as good, I guess. I wouldn't know how to do it in a nice way. But I think ever since when I got out of my marriage, I always felt like I just became stronger that way. But like anybody that's like, you know, even it, like I said, like it could be strangers, like sometimes, and and if I just, like say what's on my mind, in a nice way, they usually like respect you, like after that.
Mm.
I don't know if people just kind of sometimes
That's
push.
huge, Sophia. That's so huge. It was like like, I'm not mirroring this unconscious patterning anymore. I'm
Mhm.
going to mirror the
Yeah,
divinity within you, and I'm going to hold that space because I recognize me. And you didn't get like overly upset or like cross that, like your own threshold of like how you're going to treat yourself because somebody couldn't see that because they can't see it within them. That's really
mhm,
huge because like the world, like in victim mentality, like how I used to
right,
be, was like the world's happening to me. Like, why are you doing
right,
this to me? Why are you talking to me like that? And it's
right,
not, it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with how they're in that moment, you know?
right.
And it's just a
And
behavior in that moment. It's not like how they
yeah,
are all the time. It's just something that they want to process with you in that moment from our
yeah.
past, I think.
When she saw that she couldn't get to me or whatever she was trying to do, and maybe upset me or something, she backed off, and then all of a sudden she was really nice. Like she's like, oh, I'm really sorry about the misunderstanding. Now I'm understanding what you were asking me about. And I'm glad we figured it out. I'm glad we straightened it out, and have a great day. And I was like, well, thank you, appreciate your, because I was really nice to her, like, thank you, appreciate everything you did, whatever. So like, I'm not going to be abusive back. That's my point. It's like you can kind of like if somebody's acting like that towards you, it doesn't mean that you have to be spiteful back. You can kind of like
Yeah,
stay grounded in your own feeling of, like you were saying, divinity and strength, and just be nice and cordial, but also speak your truth and speak your mind. And that's really what I gained, I think, in the last, after my marriage. Like it's like it's like taking your power back, and not letting anybody steal your energy. That's how I could like phrase it. I'm not sure exactly, but maybe, yeah, kind of like steal your energy, right?
it is, and it's also, again, kind of speaking to the standing in your own divinity. It's training people how to treat us. So
mhm.
we get to set that, and we get to create that. And if you would have let her push you around, that would have been what was normalized in that relationship moving forward. And
Right.
you stood your ground, and for the lack of better term, stood your ground, but you held the boundaries that you find acceptable in that relationship, and she got it by the end of it. It sounds like so.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's important, I think, because I think I have a girlfriend of mine that she doesn't know how to kind of stand up for herself in situations like that. And so I just tell her, like, you know, just don't let anybody treat you like that. Just hold your ground. Like, don't, you know what I mean? So but she's like, I'm not good with confrontation. It's like, you don't have to be confrontational. You can
Right.
just stand your ground and not be shaken, you know, and just tell somebody how you think, but be nice about it. You know, I don't appreciate how you're talking to me or whatever, you know?
And that's been something that's been difficult for me because I've been a people pleaser, you know, and uh, I've learned to really use my sovereign no like right from the get go, and then I have room to move it back as I feel into it because I always like went with something very quickly, and then I realized I have so much other stuff going on. There's only so much energy to spend around, and then I'm fitting something in because I was, you know, then I have resentment and I feel like upset with myself because I accepted it, and then I'm going to let this person down, and it turns into a whole thing when I could have just, and again, using my sovereign no from the beginning, and then it gives me space to go from there, back that up, or, uh, and so maybe your friend, maybe that's something that you could add to your friend, you know, like if just right from the beginning use her sovereign no, and it will hold that space for her in whatever capacity, you know, depending on the thing that's going on there.
Yeah, because it could affect you for the rest of the day. Like sometimes, like it was just on her mind, and it was something that happened to her in a I forgot what it was, like a clothing store or something, which a lady was really rude to her. She's like, it affected her for the rest of the day because she didn't speak up for herself and she didn't say what was on her mind to the lady. I'm like, well, next time, just just think of something for the next time and don't beat yourself up. So then I forgot what it was, but she thought of something funny for the next time. But anyway, I'm just feeling like I don't want to feel like um I don't know if it's sort of like giving your power away or somebody stealing your energy, but when you don't stand up for yourself, even if it's something in a small way, I feel like you can kind of feel like deflated and feel like, oh my God, I just like let that person abuse me, and and then fall into that victim consciousness mode trap. Do you know what I mean? And then feel like kind of spiral down for the day because I'm like, do you know what I mean? So I don't like feeling that way. So anyway, so I
I love you.
don't know what the theme of the day is, but we could come up with some lyrics for that.
There was definitely some in there already. Do you have anything that you want to speak to, Tammy, for in regards to any of this? You had something powerful in regards to, I guess, this morning speaking with Kirk. I don't know if that is.
Yeah, yes. I mean, I don't want to go on because we're doing the class.
Well,
I'll do
we
that,
got a handful more
but-
minutes, and I'm gonna. I
Okay.
do want to restore my integrity with you, Sophia, because I didn't work on some music this past week for you, but that I have that in my full intention tomorrow to take those lyrics that you sent me and that melody that you have and create a song. So I'm going to be doing two songs tomorrow. One based off of the one that the melody you sent, and whatever we come up with today. So thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Does she want to say something?
um, yeah, he was talking about the child, and a lot of times we something happened as a child and we weren't able to say anything or have boundaries and and then it just perpetuates through our life, and then we become people pleasers, and just to, like with your friends, so there's no confrontation, no standing up for yourself because you end up really not loving yourself, and out of not loving yourself, we create all these other avenues and not able to stand up at all. And when you're saying the boundaries, if you can go back into neutral and then come from love and be able to speak your truth, because when I was younger, the only I would just go into defensive mode, and or some kind of anger or something to push them away. I had all different kinds of avenues I did, but that was my only way to get people away from me. And
Mm.
so we have all these coping mechanisms, and what I've learned is just to look at it, observe it, look at my ego and not react, sit back, and then be able to respond in a manner, in that energy that will actually accomplish something.
Yeah, and that's
Right.
huge, Tammy. Like responding, that's the game that we're playing in life. Like everything is how we respond, and it has nothing to do with what we say. It's actually how we feel and the energy that we're putting out when we respond. So you could say a bunch of words, but if they're empty, and you're going to get an emptiness back, So fill it with love, fill it with integrity, fill it with joy. Fill it
Yeah.
with that inner child that's just playing and saying, hey, you hurt me, but let's play again. Like we can get.
Just lost her.
I think he just got muted or something. No,
Yeah.
we lost you for a second there, Sarah. What was that last sentence that you said?
Oh, it's like, because kids, they like on a playground, they get into fights, and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, but just don't do that again. I forgive you. Let's play again, And it's so instant that the energy comes in and it goes out, and it's like we deal with it and then it's done. But as adults, we hold on to that energy, and it's just time we released it and remember that love and that compassion and that forgiveness that we had as little kids, because we just wanted to be friends. We wanted to all be complementary to each other and do it together. We didn't want to be separate.
Yeah.
So I feel like most of the time whenever I'm going through that, it's like my own recognition of how I'm keeping myself separate from God rather than separate from another human being. It's like that's my separateness from God, and that's just where I'm at the moment. And how do I get closer to it? Because it has everything to do with how we're raising our vibration together. And so that's what I'm trying to remember every day,
Yes.
is don't be separate from God, and then you can't be separate from anybody else.
Well, Neil has a nice little acronym for that. It's for ego, edging God out. I don't know if you've heard that, but
Mhm.
it's like a beautiful little acronym. I've heard him say it. I'm sure there's plenty of people that have said it, but
Yeah.
I think that correlates with what you just spoke to. So,
Good song.
so I'm feeling the boundaries and inner child in that combination, like the creation of those, maybe in the positive way instead of the ego, and based off of those conversations. So if we want to take a couple, I think let's take a couple minutes and just sit and I'm going to try to get some music going for meditation. Do a little meditative thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll do that till 11:30. Just center ourselves. Well, that's not it. Little commercial first.
Right. That's like a beat though.
And let me share this screen. Hope it doesn't come through cranking. We're doing a little meditation right now. Two of my favorite ladies. right, so hopefully we got to a nice little place there. I love the rhythmic. I love the rhythmic stuff.
That was pretty cool. I have a couple that I use, but a lot not so much with the drum beat, but that
Yeah,
was a cool one.
there's some resonation in there. Like I don't know, I feel it deep, and so that was one of the ones I like. But so welcome, Melissa. I saw Kinley with you too. Yay! And we just got done talking kind of. I guess it was kind of check-ins with our week and what we were feeling into as far as a topic. Um, did we all kind of agree that is like boundaries and being able to in regards to our inner child, or is it more just setting boundaries and being able I guess holding those boundaries so our inner child or divinity can feel I guess in a nice space. uh,
Can I say something?
yes, you may, Sophia.
Um, it's just really interesting because this week, okay, I don't know why, but I wrote a song when I was living in Germany called Child,
Mhm.
and it was folk music, and I had like a cassette. We did like a recording in the studio, like a little cassette, like 6 songs, and the one so the song Child like just kept coming in my head today, even though I couldn't remember all the lyrics because I think the cassette's buried somewhere. But it's just odd that we're talking about this because I mean, I was like a novice, but I mean, if you guys want to listen to a little bit of it, I don't remember all the lyrics, but
Take a
if you
shot.
want to, okay.
Would love to hear it.
Yeah, my voice is doing.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm loving
So,
it.
well, so it's um, child, so happy, so helpless, so curious of beautiful things. Child, so new and enchanting, never knowing a reason. So it's just I know I had more lyrics, but I don't know where they went and I don't remember them all in my head, but those are the ones I remember. But I don't know if you wanted to maybe do something, maybe like a spin-off of that. It's just an idea. But something about like a child's curiosity and how, when you're born in this world, it's like everything's like you're in the state of wonder and curiosity and beauty and everything's beautiful and that programming isn't in that little head of yours yet. You know what I mean? Like you just see the eyes through such a different lens and anyway, it brought me back to that song. It was just the lyrics were coming up in my head this week, which is really funny that we're talking about
It is. Synchronicities.
Yeah.
We can bounce off that, or I'm feeling like maybe we go around and each do a line since we kind of have added some other people here. I don't know how you feel. If
I
you
would love that.
maybe we each just kind of come up with the line and bounce it around, and then maybe go back through and if not today, that will be what my intention is for tomorrow to align those and make a song out of it if that works. So if you have something, we can kind of go in a little bit of an order if we want, or if somebody's feeling it. I don't know if Sarah, you always get the flow going, so
Okay, I'll start. Um, the thing that I always used to say to like friends or whatnot when I was a kid is, do you want to play with me? Or can we play? So I think that would be like a good start to a song, because it's the inner child coming out and asking for playtime and fun. It's like,
I like
come
that.
on and play with me, something like that.
I like that.
I do so.
Again.
It's like, come out and play with me. So,
Yeah.
I've said to John that I wanted to go back to those same times, like walk over to his house and knock on the door, and then my vision was Melinda answered. I'm like, can Johnny come out and play? Right, that's it.
You can even put that in the song,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
You can even put that in the song. It's like, come out and play with me. Knock, knock, come out and play with me.
Yeah, I like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You got anything,
That's cool.
Melissa? Your presence is enough. Maybe that's it.
So it would be come out and play or come on and play, or could you could like kind of go back and forth with it?
Hmm. Well,
I think
maybe
come
because it's bringing the inner child out to play,
out.
it should be come out and play with
Yeah,
me.
I think they'll come
Yeah.
out and play with me.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I like that. I feel like I could do some. I just don't know right now, but
And
You
maybe like in a form of a question or something like, do you want to dance or sing or ride your bike with me? Something like that, right? It's just
Yeah.
something fun and catchy.
Do you want to dance with me? Do you want to sing with me? Do you want
we can
Yeah,
dance.
yeah, it's like, do you want to ride your bike? Do you want to go for a hike? Or build sand castles at the beach? Something like that. I don't know. It's just coming through.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Horizon.
yeah, you could say sing something like "Do all the fun things we used to do" or something like that.
Yeah. that will, I believe that
Yeah.
at home within people's hearts, like remembering to remember the child. The song is to remember the child.
You have a line for that?
Thinking,
Remember the child.
And I guess
And
too, we're
listen to the-
brainstorming now, but we can always brainstorm on it during the week, right? As well.
Correct. That's what the video going up for is. We're kind of
Mhm.
this is again. We're creating this, Sophia. So we just going with the flow.
Right. Like you said, we're all learning together.
yes, it's about remembering.
We can go ride bikes.
That's a really good line too, Sophia. We're all learning together.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
got that from Steven. He said that last week. Or
Yeah,
well, he
you
said we're
always have
learning.
like really good like punchlines. Like they're really good lines.
yes.
And then what rhymes with together? Weather, feather.
Yeah.
Together.
Or we can grab Heather. I don't even know if she's part of this group, but she could be.
We're all learning together with my sisters and brothers. I mean, kind of play off that. Or Heather's.
With feathers.
Well, no, they say that like, have you heard that when angels, when you find feathers or pennies, that's the angels are near.
yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can maybe put something like that in there.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote a song called
Let's
An
find
Angel.
feather.
Yeah. Yeah, because finding a feather, that could be kind of like, wow, I found a feather.
Yeah.
My angel is near. Like
Yes.
it's childlike,
Yes.
I think we're doing a lot of just brainstorming, but
That's perfect. I'll go back through this and have plenty of lines to work with. I think that's the general idea. Or any of us, if you know.
Yeah. We're all learning together.
What was one of your
Fine.
favorite childhood games that you'd play? Like Twister or Bop It or
We
running out
played
with your rain boots on?
hide and
Like,
seek.
what was your favorite one?
Yeah, Run for Your Life. That's kind of like hide and seek. Did you guys play that?
I speak, yeah.
I had one that
No.
we called Ninja, which it was like the whole we had the whole neighborhood. It was kind of big hide and seek, and you had to tackle the
Yeah.
person that was the
Oh.
ninja.
Oh, wow. Mm.
Wait, what was the
That's
one
actually
you're
pretty
talking
fun.
about,
I want to play
Sophia?
that.
Oh no, it was called Run for Your Life, and it was kind of like hide and seek, but it was more adventurous because we'd go up in these mountainy woods, and everybody was like, "Oh, run for your life!" And so you tag, "Oh, you're it." So you tag, and then everybody became it. I don't know, almost like the zombies. And then at the very end, the person that was left that wasn't it, who wasn't tagged, was the winner.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, but
Oh, that's actually a pretty good line too. Everybody's it.
yeah.
Tag you're next or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's cool. Tag your next.
Everybody's- yeah.
Come out and play with me. Let's fly to heaven sitting under this tree. That's all I've got.
Ooh.
There you go.
It's my first
Cool.
one.
Allie.
Yeah. That actually then ties into the angels and the feathers
Feather.
too.
Ooh,
Say it
and we're
again,
all
say it
teaching
again.
each other. So it's like, you can teach me how to do this, and I'll teach you how to do that, you know? So I'm not sure about which this or that, but it's like you can teach me this and I can teach you that.
Oh, and let's work together.
Yeah.
I could teach you
play
this, you could
together.
teach me that. Oh, let's
Yeah.
play together. Right, let's play together.
Yeah. That's really cute. I really like that.
Can you say that again, Melly?
I said, come out and play with me. Let's fly to heaven sitting under this tree.
Oh,
Or let's fly to heaven playing under this tree. I don't know.
Or how about
Dancing
Yeah.
under this tree.
Dancing under this tree.
Playing under this tree. There
or
you go.
how about let's be in heaven? That could also be another variation.
or swinging on the tire swing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Swinging under this tree.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Swinging under this tree.
Because you're
Swinging
flying and you're
tire
flying on a swing. Like most of the time when you're a kid, like you're feeling so free when
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
flying on the swing.
Good. That's good. That's what my kids love to do with their cousins. Tired
Oh,
Swinging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
swinging under this tree.
Fine.
yeah.
And when you used to get on a swing, I used to get butterflies, like that butterfly going. So you could say something like going on a swing and getting butterflies or something like that. Like
Yeah,
This
yeah,
one.
because you have so much momentum or whatever that's you would feel it. Is that what you're referencing, Sophia?
I don't know. I felt like I don't know if anybody can relate, but when I used to go on the swing, I felt like when you're going fast on a swing, it's like a roller coaster feeling like you have on a roller coaster where you feel like your spirit's flying. Like I don't know how to describe it, but like and it gives you like a feeling of like butterflies or like in your solar plexus or in your heart chakra, like just this. I don't know if everybody ever experienced it, but I have.
I have.
Yeah, I have as well. And you were just talking about swinging on the swing not too long ago.
Yeah. I used to go with a boombox and swing to the music. That was kind of my coping. And I would do it for like long periods of time until one day I got like like nauseous
Mm.
and had a hard time getting back on, but I did. But it
Well,
was
good for you getting back up on
Oh
there.
yeah, and I swing on the swing up here. They have a big swing up on the hill.
Oh, nice.
at the very top of the village, we moved the swings, and we have two swings up top there, so it's beautiful. You get to look on both sides of the the mountain, so you get to see one valley for sunset and one valley
Wow.
for sunrise. And there's also the Diamante waterfall, which is like the longest free falling waterfall in Central America.
Wow.
That you get to see while up there swinging on the swings like little children.
Wow.
So let's fly to heaven swinging under the tree.
That's it. Maybe that's it.
Just thinking about other games that I used to play, like rolling in the grass down the hill.
Mhm.
Oh, I love
Um,
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
except for the itchy part,
right.
I've done
from the
that when I
grass.
was an adult. I've done that when I was an adult.
Yep.
Yeah, I used
Also,
to.
there was other games that we would play, like flashlight tag,
Used to do a
or
flag.
yeah, or like hopscotch. You would play hopscotch
Oh yeah,
and
hopscotch.
double dutch
Yeah.
rope and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jump rope.
Jump rope.
Yeah.
It's the double Dutch that
Duck,
rhymes
duck,
with hopscotch.
Over, come over.
What was that?
Did Rover, come over, or duck?
Yes, I love that one.
That was a good one too.
Horizon.
I don't know, but I used to love roller
Come here,
skating.
Zeus.
That's wasn't a game, but I used to
Come
love
here,
roller
Zeus.
skating.
Wanna say
Swimming.
hi? Come say hi. Say hi.
Aw, how
Say
cute.
hi.
Be careful,
This is Zeus.
Melissa might come get it.
I need help rescuing.
He's huge. Here, get down. Get going.
Just the other day, I was raking up leaves for the bonfire with Riker, and I remember running and jumping in leaf piles all the time.
Oh,
So it
yeah.
reminded me of.
Yeah. Jumping in the pool. Jumping in the water.
Hiding in the leaves. Being buried in the leaves.
Yeah.
Mm.
No.
Doing a backflip off the diving board.
Uh-huh.
I'm just thinking. Wow.
Yeah.
Throw them out
These are
there.
all really good though, because it's bringing that inner child out
Yes.
in the song, and it's
And
reminding
now.
us of all
Yeah.
the ways that we could,
Yes.
be interacting with ourselves still. Like there's no such thing as boredom. It's just how, creative are we being? And as little children, our imagination was so wild that we were never bored. We always had something that we were going to do to have fun.
Yeah.
Maybe
Music.
maybe we could implement in there something about living life to the fullest or living life fully or something like that. Let's live our lives like to the fullest, or
Like,
let's just live our lives or something like
children.
children. Yeah. Or let's be children, or
Yeah.
again, let's be children again.
And yes. Wow.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Sorry. Sorry.
No, don't be. That was great.
All right.
That's powerful.
Yeah, I'm feeling a bunch of these. This is probably a couple songs here.
Right.
Probably.
Mhm.
I mean, one could just be done by all the games.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Does Kinley have any lines since she's living in that moment now?
I could get.
She doesn't have to. I was just throwing it out there.
You can ask your kids Dream and Steven. You can ask your daughter or your son.
Riker came in the other day, and it was he's like, I'm so bored. It was just speaking to you were just speaking to it, Sarah. Like we have the ability to have creativity, and you know the the screens, man. It's a whole world that they can go into, and the crazy aspect of it is it limits some of that space for the creativity, and it just ends up being like a consumer creator thing. It's not that
Yeah.
anymore unless they're using it for educational purposes, which
Yeah.
it's not being used for in that time. So it's something that personally I'm trying to figure out how to steer them away from. And luckily, we have a bunch, a handful of activities and things going on here at the village that they do eventually get bored of their iPad and come out and do stuff, like that's what me and Riker did the other day is we just went and raked leaves, got a bunch of sticks and built a bonfire in the middle of the day
Mhm.
and just like burnt stuff, and then we collected the ash and have it for our soil center and add it to the fertilizer, the compost that we have going on. And it's like,
Yeah.
so he has this, he loves fires, and I loved fires as a kid. And he's being channeled in a proper direction. I was not. I would go get gasoline and toss it on him behind our playground.
Yeah. That's beautiful. That's such a reminder because we get so distracted. And nowadays, like our children are so like everything's screen. You have to do screens on school. You have to do screens at home. There's like a bunch of video games and all these distractions, and friends are online, and it's just so many different things that get us distracted from actually having the attention that we need, right? And so that also creates this barrier between what I've learned is there's small love, which is that attention, that interaction that you're having with other people. That's the small love. We think that's big love. We think that's actually love, and that's not. It's the big love actually comes from source. And it's like, how can I be in love with myself and source the way he sees me in his image? And that's the big love. And how do we get our children to recognize that and keep that and not get distracted from that big source creative energy? And so they're the ones that are giving attention and the ones that are giving it full from an open cup, right? So it's like, I'm tapping into that myself, and learning that the distractions have to come to an end at some point, right? Or just limit them for some time.
There's
Yeah.
there's a couple lines in there somewhere too with what you just said.
Yeah.
That was beautiful, Sarah.
I just wanted to add, like, did you guys like roasting marshmallows on the fire? Like that could be a line.
Mhm. Blowing
Yeah, I
bubbles.
just want some s'mores. I just want some s'mores.
Right.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
kids had some s'mores last night.
so good.
I haven't had one in so long. They're just like really sweet to me now. But not that I once in a blue I would, but I used to. I used to love all that stuff. And the marshmallows, that was a thing when I was little. But
Yeah, we generally do bonfires here on like Friday or Saturday nights, and somebody will generally have marshmallows available. It's either myself or Melinda grabs them since we're the ones with kids. And then the adults jump in. Um,
right.
Blowing bubbles
yeah, blowing bubbles, I like that too.
in the sun. Blowing bubbles in the sun.
All right, I feel
and roasting hot dogs on a bun.
I feel complete with this though.
I also like when I'm writing now to bring in the five senses, right? So like where is it going to be at? Like where is the song at when you're playing? Like trying to dedicate a spot like where you used to play when you were a kid. And then what was it like outside when you were playing? Like was it raining? Was it sunshine? Were you by a beach? Were you by a lake? Like where were you at? And then bring in the smells that you'd smell, like the pine trees or honeysuckle, like right, like just try to bring in all of the senses when you're writing so people can actually experience it while they're hearing the song. So maybe doing that as well inside of the song, like bringing some of those correlations.
Beautiful. It's like setting the context for it,
Yeah,
and
like so people can actually like feel it, like the crisp air or the muddy feet, you know, just it's the descriptive words that really have captivated me lately. And it's all about bringing all the five senses so people can actually feel the visceral feeling of it all. Like the taste, like what you would taste in your mouth, like something that you would eat, like the s'mores, right? But are they burnt? Are they like newspaper in your mouth, you know, like, or are they golden brown? Did you wait a long time to cook it, you know? So it just depends on what experience you want them to go through with you.
that gives it the depth. Like that puts more depth within it. This
Yeah.
to me, instead of it just being very thin layered. Yeah, exactly. Surfacey. It gives it.
Helps remember the child.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. We're remembering.
You have your thing today at 1 o'clock, Sarah. What is it? The greatness I see in you.
Yeah, it's at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Yep.
So in an hour or so.
Yep.
I'm feeling pretty complete with this. How's everybody else feeling with it? You good?
I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. It gives us something to work on. To
Well,
like, yeah.
I'm right after this. I'm gonna go grab something to eat, and this will render or whatever it has to do, and I'll post it on YouTube. But I'm gonna after the greatness I see in you because I'm gonna join you today on that. We had internet issues last week, so yeah, I think I told you that. So it didn't come on until like 10 minutes before 12 or something. Blah blah blah. Um, yeah, I'm gonna work on these couple songs because I owe you one, Sophia.
Well, I mean, it's just funny how like you said that one line when you texted me, and I was like, oh, I took that line, and a melody just came in my head, and then I just kind of went with it, and I'm not sure. I know you said, yeah, whatever, but it seemed like a fun little chorus. I don't know.
No, I dig it, and I like how you made harmonies out of it. Like you sang it once, then did the second time, and it was you kind of you had harmonies going on there, and that was the line was a harmony or something along those lines.
This life is a harmony.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was a nice play. It was multi-layered in that sense, you know.
Yeah. I could see like the very last one that goes the highest, that could kind of come at the end of the song to make it more crescendo more or whatever. I mean, I like to do that at the end usually. Um, but also too, you can do harmonies like, I don't know, like maybe we could do harmonies with it. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. But as far as a verse, it hasn't come to me yet, but I don't know if you can think of a verse, but or we could just work together on it, whatever. But I'm actually motivated. I'm gonna go look at some ukuleles now at the
Awesome.
music store. So, because my daughter, she learned ukulele last year as a junior, and I'm like, I like to learn that. It's easier than the guitar. Because I bought a guitar I don't know, so like some years back. I was gonna learn it, and I got pregnant with her. I was like, okay, whatever. So now, and it kind of inspired me when she learned it, and she, was learning it and playing it pretty well. I'm like, if she learned it in a few weeks, oh, you play it too.
Yeah, I got a couple for my
Wow.
kids too. One of the things that hasn't happened yet, but start doing music classes here because there's multiple pianos or keyboards, ukuleles, guitars, and drums, percussion. So I think we got something that we can do each week.
Right.
We're gonna have like a village band. I mean,
Yes.
we already have a three-piece between me, John, and Kirk, and then we'll be able to fill in all the accents with all the other instruments and have a beautiful show.
Yeah.
That's
I think it's
awesome.
gonna be the ending up going with something along those lines, or a circus. Who knows?
What did you say it was going to be? What before the circus? Ending a what?
I don't. We'll just have like I don't know, it'll just be like a beautiful show, like a show in
Oh,
itself with
right.
band and multiple moving parts and everybody playing something in it.
Can you tell me which ukulele is the prettiest sounding, or let's see your preferable one that you could recommend? Because I have no clue.
I have no clue on that.
Okay.
There's only like two brands down here in Costa Rica that we had to choose from, so that was my basis of what
Okay.
I chose. I wanted one that I could plug in so I can play it out. So I have a electric one, um, but they all generally come acoustically unless you get that, you know.
Right. Oh, okay. So you have one that hooks in electric ukulele. Okay. Okay. I'll probably just get an acoustic, but
Me and my
all
buddy
right.
started a uke thing at the beginning of the pandemic at the beach, and he's still running it in Manuel Antonio. And it's we have like 6 or 7 people that get together on the beach on Wednesdays at 10 o'clock and jam doing ukulele. It was a beautiful time when I lived up that way, and it's beautiful that he's still running it. And when I get to go up there, I jump and get a chance at the beach with them. And I generally just bring my percussion, so I'm doing drums with them now.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know, something's telling me to get it and learn some chords because I feel like it will inspire me more to then come up with the melody lines with the chords in the background. So, and it's a, like sort of like a dream I've had, but like just put it in the back burner. But I'm like, okay, now it's time for it to like come into fruition. So,
Why not now? So Kinley,
yeah.
we just discussed like we're going to work on a song about inner children and our child coming out and playing. So if you can put together, I see you're doing your creative artwork there. If you can do something that draws like a kid outside having fun with their friends, that we can make that the singles artwork. Does that sound like a plan? That will be the cover art for that song.
Yay.
Appreciate you. I feel complete with all this, and thank you all. I will post this up here in the next hour, and if you want to go back through it, I'm going to take the lines that I've written down that were really nice, and then kind of come up with maybe some sort of structure, and then go through, fill it up with stuff that I missed while we were talking from the video. I think that's how I'm going to kind of roll through it, and then I'll also put some guitar to what you sent me, Sophia, and if I feel the flow of lines, then maybe we can just bounce lines back and forth throughout this next week too, or something along those lines.
Okay. And then are you going to use the melody that Sarah, I liked the melody that Sarah was doing with it. I mean, that kind of was cool. I mean,
At the,
I'd have to go back and watch it and remember it, but I kind of liked the melody. It was kind of cool.
I was digging it as well, and I like the melody that you sent in the song that you sent me. So I'll go back and listen to those two, and base those songs off of those melodies that came up with there. So
Awesome. Awesome. All right. And
Love you. Thank you. And appreciate you.
see you
All right.
guys soon.
So much fun.
I'd love to go to your thing. I'm not sure if I'm going to be ukulele shopping though. I might be caught up in the store. So if I don't make it, it's because of that.
You do you, boo. You have a good
Okay.
time.
All right. All right. Well, love you guys.
Love you
Love you.
guys. Love you, Kaylee. Love
Bye.
you, Riker. I see your little cat ears.
A kitty cat.
Love you all. Ciao.
See ya.
Bye.